We are celebrating the 55th anniversary of the World Environment Movement, and the theme of this is our power, our planet, our power. Importantly, we are trying to advocate this type of renewable energy in this through kids, through children, because children are our power. That's why we have involved children in this, because ultimately at the end of the day, this earth belongs to them. This belongs to this generation, the next generation that's going to come after that. And for that, we are trying to advocate this thing through education and creating awareness and spreading education. The best medium for that is basically catching them very young at this particular age. That's why we are celebrating this particular day on 22nd of April. And that is how we basically advocate this type of education for our kids.
We celebrate Earth Day 2025 to protect the planet and the other natural resources for the future generations. The purpose of this celebration is to spread at least awareness among all the people in all walks of life, so that everybody would behave responsibly to protect these various natural resources. One of the main natural resources in Kashmir is water resource. If you will see, before 2 decades, all the water was potable and we used to use it for different purposes. But now the same water is not potable at all. So it means that we have polluted these water resources, not the climate change. We cannot link everything with the climate change. So we have to, through this Earth Day celebration, my message to the people is to please protect these natural resources, to protect the water resources by not letting all the sewer to flow or drains to flow into the water resources.
हम ये मैसेज देते हैं, ये लोग उसे के डाल में कूड़ा मत फेंके, डस्टबिन लगे हुए हैं. हम पेरेंट्स को भी बोलना चाहते हैं, और ये जो छोटे छोटे बच्चे हैं इनको भी बोलना चाहते हैं. इनको घर में सिखाइए, डस्टबिन लगे हुए हैं उसमें कूड़ा डालिए. यहाँ डाल में बहुत सारा कूड़ा है.
यंग बच्चों की जिम्मेदारी है कि अपने घर से प्लास्टिक को बैन करें, क्योंकि जब हम ये इनिशिएटिव अपने घर से स्टार्ट करेंगे तब जाके बाकी लोग उसको एक्सेप्ट करेंगे. तमाम लोगों से गुजारिश की जाती है कि कश्मीर जो है अब मतलब क्लाइमेटिक चेंजेस आ रहे हैं बहुत सारे, उसकी वजह जो है हम ही है, क्योंकि हम कूड़ा कचरा फैल रहे हैं. घर में डस्टबिन होने के बावजूद भी हम डल में फेंक रहे हैं, बाहर सड़कों पे फेंक रहे हैं. तो अपने कश्मीर को, अपने अर्थ को, जहाँ कहीं भी है, इसे बचाइए और डस्टबिन में कूड़ा कचरा वगैरह जो भी होगा वो डस्टबिन में डिस्पोज कीजिए. उसे यहाँ ऐसे यूँ ना छोड़े, क्योंकि इससे हालात ख़राब हो रहे हैं, हॉस्पिटल मतलब हेल्थ इश्यूज़ हो रहे हैं और भी बहुत सारे इश्यूज़ हो रहे हैं. तो अपने मतलब कूड़े कचरे को डस्टबिन में डिस्पोज कीजिए.
We have Shahnawaz here with us. Let us listen a ghazal. Mr. Shahnawaz, a big round of applause for Mr. Shahnawaz.
Climate change is increasing disasters day by day, where only resilient energy solutions have the potential to sustain us. Moreover, this transition to renewables isn't just an environmental shift, it's an economic revolution in the making. How? Basically, the renewable energy sector is labor intensive. According to IRENA, the renewables employed over 12 million people globally by 2023. These jobs are more widespread, from manufacturing to local installations.
Jammu and Kashmir, if we install a solar power plant here and another in Rajasthan, the present one in Jammu and Kashmir won't be as successful as it would be in Rajasthan because of the different climatic conditions at both regions. Storing large amount of these renewables can be expensive and technologically challenging. Large-scale solar and wind farms require significant land, which can impact biodiversity and ecosystems. For example, if we talk about a solar power plant which is installed in Rajasthan, namely Bhadla Solar Power Plant, It just generates electricity for a single city, and it covers an area of about 56 square kilometers, nearly about 14,000 acres of land.
I am here because the world outside is crying for help. I am here because our generation will inherit the decisions made by the last. Not so far in future, we will all be parents, no? Won't you feel shame when you're in replying, when your kids ask you, Mom, Dad, what did you leave for us? What would you say? That we were too busy in conserving coal and petroleum, which we knew we couldn't, rather than using the advanced ones like solar and hydro energy. Because climate change is not some distant threat. It is here, it is real, and it is personal. And the motion before us today could not be more urgent. Renewable energy is the only savior for a sustainable future.
So today, our planet is at an ecological imbalance situation. And the point where we are about to have a thing where we are having ecological imbalance, actually. So let's talk about the reports about NASA, which is a space company. It is said that 2023 year was the year actually which was the hottest year ever recorded. What's the thing where we can save ourselves from these disasters, upcoming disasters or ecological imbalance? We are not the only humans who are facing this. There are the animals also. They are not having the mind just like us. We have to take responsibility actually. So the hope is our renewable energy. So let's talk about the renewable energy. Solar, wind, hydro, geothermal energy are there. They are clean, they are pure, not just like fossil fuels, giving greenhouse carbon emissions.
While I wholeheartedly agree that renewable energy is a crucial part of our efforts to combat climate change, calling it the only solution is not correct. Let me begin by pointing that sustainability is not about energy. It includes food security, water management, economic advancement, social equity, and technology advancement. Let me begin by stating that while renewable energy is undoubtedly a crucial part of our solution, to call it the only solution is not correct. It involves not just about energy, but also how we consume, how we design our cities, about the human behavior, and how we change ourselves. I agree that renewable energy, like solar, hydro, they're very important. They help us to reduce pollution, right? And they also help us to fight climate change.
Let me begin with a question that cuts to the very core of our survival. Can a planet choking on the fumes of its own progress ever hope to sustain life? I rise today to declare without hesitation that renewable energy is not merely a solution. My dear friends, it is the only survivor of a sustainable future. Let's start with the essence of sustainability. The sacred promise to meet today's needs without stealing from tomorrow's. Fossil fuels send us a bill. The sun sends us a blessing. It sends us a gift. Renewable energy like solar and wind taps into resources that are free, resources that are infinite, and resources, most importantly, that are democratic. They are not subject to market manipulation. They are not subject to cartels and wars. Fossil fuels burn once and then vanish forever, leaving behind a legacy full of destruction.
And I stand before you all against the topic that renewable energy is not the only survivor, but can be a powerful tool. The reasons are quite simple, my juries, my fellow mates, and my all opponents. That sun doesn't shine over time if we take into considerable that if we today adapt the solar system or the solar panels, the sun doesn't shine every day. The wind doesn't blow every time. Nature isn't on a schedule. Sustainable isn't about a clean, but it's about reliable. And we are reliable on something that isn't in their control. Climate, what is today, is not in tomorrow. What happened in Kashmir from a past week, today is, I can say that it is a sunny day. But 2 days back, it was raining hazardly. And we expect, we can rely on something which is not even reliable. Batteries are basically bottleneck. Think of it, take an example, rain. Rain is our energy and resource, but the buckets, the batteries, we are not enough to hold them. The reasons we are lacking behind, why China today is here and India is over here, is because they have not facilitated our problems in them.
In 2020 Australia, black summer bushfires killing 3 billion animals. Not a small number. Just imagine that, 3 billion, which included mammals, reptiles, amphibians, etc. Now, it also covered 19 million hectares of land. Again, not a small amount. In 2021, the next year, heat dome in America, killing 1,400 people, innocent lives taken, right? And after that, in 2022, Pakistan monsoon floods, 1,739 people killed, a huge number again. The trends continue, and these threats are not only for people living somewhere else far from us, these threats are to us as well. According to WHO, 7 million premature deaths occur each year because of fossil fuels and non-renewable sources of energy. You know how much is that? Can you imagine the value of a single life, a single baby, a mother? It's a lot. 8 million people died in 2018 because of it. A Harvard study published says that 1/5 of the deaths are caused by fossil fuels. So if there are 50 people here, 10 of us will die because of it. It could be me, it could be you, it could be any one of us. The cause behind our death would be fossil fuels, the non-renewable sources of energy.
Today, I stand, not just as a student, but as a voice of reason firmly against the notion that renewable energy is the only savior for a sustainable future. At first glance, renewables feel like the obvious heroes. Solar panels, wind turbines, clean skies, but peel back the layers and what you'll find is not a solution, but a half-built bridge over a rising tide. Let's start by confronting the facts. Solar and wind are not dependable, they are intermittent. The sun doesn't shine at night and the wind doesn't blow on demand. This isn't just an inconvenience, it's a flaw in the blueprint. In 2020 alone, California, America's leading solar power state, had to curtail about 2.5 million megawatt hours of solar energy. It's like cooking a feast only to throw it in the dustbin, ladies and gentlemen. And they still turn to coal, they still turn to natural gas. Why? Because at moments when the demand is high and the supply is low, renewables just can't do it alone. And now, let's start now the elephant in the room, waste. By 2050, experts are saying that we are staring at over 78 million tons of solar panel waste. Much of it would be laced with toxic materials like cadmium and lead.
There are very serious challenges right now, and those challenges act in the form of the threat to the life. We always want to keep the earth neat and clean, but again it is at the same time because of we people, we pollute it. We don't take care of this planet. You should remember that till we are alive, we are on this earth. Till the human life is there, it is on this earth. Therefore, it is also a mark of duty for every individual to keep, to maintain, to try, to keep at least your place neat and clean. For example, you have a garden, so many gardens in the university. If you see, it is because of us we pollute those gardens. हम कभी कुछ खाते हैं और जो इसका कीचड़ है वो ज़मीन पे सीधे लगाते हैं. Instead of keeping our gardens neat and clean, we don't throw them in dustbins when dustbins are available everywhere. At the same time, if you see at your respective places, in your residences, you may have small gardens in your home, at your home. I'm sure that you want to keep your home, your patch of that land which is available there in the vicinity of your house, very neat and clean. So if we are keeping your house, your patch of land which you called as a garden in your home, you want to keep that very neat and clean. Why you will not keep the university as a neat and clean?
Now this earth, as my friend Nasir Saab said, that this earth is very, very important, and it is rightly so. The scientists, the experts have been trying very hard over the period of 5 decades to see if similar type of planet exists in the universe, where you can have life, you can have water and other things. But every time the hard work done, the efforts put on do not yield results. The recent experiment, which was done with the help of the telescope James Webb, found an interesting thing, one of the planets, which is named as K2-18b. I hope geologists will be knowing about it. They have found traces of methane there. And if it is true, then these traces of methane will ultimately lead to oxygen and will end up with the existence of water. However, these are only guesses because you know how far is James Webb from our planet. And then the pictures taken by James Webb, it's billions of light years away. So to make any conclusion in either way will not be the right thing to be done at this stage. And secondly, you see the power of this James Webb, made with the help of, or we can say with the cost of $3 billion US. Who made it? The human being. Where is the human being on the earth? So you can realize the wonders the nature is gifting us. Now you see the nature, the Almighty has created glaciers in such a way that they play their role in their own way. And guess that there are 200,000 glaciers on the earth, 200,000. All these are important in their own way, and what is happening at this point of time? The glaciers have started melting. We have the problems of climate change. We all of us can contribute in a humble way towards saving this Mother Earth. We have to take into consideration several things. Even if we contribute a small bit, which is worth half of the rupee, it will be a great contribution. However, contribution from the public, from the students, from our side is not enough, unless the contribution is also from the government side. Because government has to share the responsibility. The universities have to share the responsibility. Because there are several things which are not in our control, unless there is something law and order working on the ground. And in this direction, it's really a great moment to see this event happening. I highly appreciate the Department of Earth Sciences, Professor Gilani and his team, Professor Parvez, who have worked for this day, made several arrangements. And the best thing which I see, our young kids here who have participated here, because tomorrow belongs to them, they have to lead from the front, and now it's a part of national education policy.
We are celebrating Earth Day 2025. The purpose is to protect the earth and its natural resources for us and for the future generations. Broadly, we have categorized those into two concerns. One, related to climate change that we know. And second is because of us, because of the humans, existence of humans, because of the activities of the humans. For example, when we talk about climate change, what are the issues related to climate change? One is availability of water. Earlier we used to have regular flow in the streams, we used to have enough groundwater, we used to have springs flowing, we used to have enough glaciers, enough snowfall, so that we could have enough water for our needs, whether for those needs are for domestic purposes, drinking purposes, agriculture purposes, industries, and other purposes. But now there is an issue. We don't have enough water at all the times of the year so that we can enjoy the same privilege that our ancestors used to enjoy. We don't. So this is climate change. Another aspect is now see the link with the climate change. It is not the only thing that is linked with the climate change. Now see the disasters, whether it is a cloudburst, whether it is a gulf, whether it is a flash floods, all these are linked to climate change. And whether there is a fast retreating of the glaciers, whether there is a sea level rise, these all are linked to the climate change. Another thing is the anthropogenic, what we did. From our domestic waste, what we do to our domestic waste, we know it. As in a developing country, we know what we are doing. If we sit somewhere, as the registrar was saying, that when we sit in a garden, what we do there? When we are going to any hill station, what we are doing there? So all these are associated with the human activities. Now go to the agriculture. In agriculture, we have withdrawn so much groundwater that now the groundwater has declined. वो इतना नीचे चला गया, now we have less groundwater available. Another problem that we are doing is quality of the water. जो पानी की क्वालिटी पहले हुआ करती थी, अब वो नहीं है. There are a lot of germs. If we will move through the water, so आपका infection पाँव में, पैरों में, skin में होगा. So these are the concerns that we have. Another is we are using fertilizers, pesticides and other things, thereby polluting the water. So now that water cannot be used. Now why I am saying all these issues? Because these are our own issues. That is why we are celebrating Earth Day, so that we can spread awareness among masses. अब जो elderly है वो तो समझेंगे नहीं. That is why focus is concentrated on now young kids, because you are young minds, you can give the solutions.
And now the most awaited award ceremony. This is the time to recognize and reward those who stood with dedication, innovation and excellence during this event. Let's begin with the Appreciation Award. The Appreciation Award for Painting Competition. The Appreciation Award goes to Inayat Shabir, Boys Higher Secondary School, Hazratpur. Inayat Shabir School. The second Appreciation Award for Better Craftsmanship goes to Hanan Bashir Wani, Green Valley School. Second prize in painting competition goes to Rayan Pandit, 9th B, Burn Hall School. And ladies and gentlemen, the first prize goes to Ambar Yaqub, 10th Kashmir University Model School. Next we have the debate awards for debate competition, and the consolidatory prize goes to Alam Javed KU Model School. Second Appreciation Award goes to Ayat Azim Green Valley School for debate competition. Third prize goes to Muqaddas Ishid, Government Girls High Secondary School, Khaniar. Second prize goes to Ubaidullah Farooq, Boys High Secondary School, Hazratgarh. Ladies and gentlemen, and the first prize goes to Aisha Khatun, Green Valley School. Aisha Khatun. Next we have the slogan writing category, And the award goes to Sarosh Nasir, KU Model School. Next, we have Sadat Sultan from Kashmir University Model School. Up next is Momin Farooq from Kashmir University Model School. Muhammad Salik from Kashmir University Model School. Muhammad Salik from Kashmir University Model School. As we wrap up today's celebration, let's carry the spirit of our day with us, not just for one day, but every day. Because the earth is what we all have in common. Thank you all for joining in. Go green, stay clean, and remember, there is no planet B. Happy Earth Day.